Hey everyone, this is KiloBisto here, and welcome to the evolution of Shaggy in Scooby-Doo movies and TV shows. So Shaggy first appeared in 1969 in the Scooby-Doo Where Are You TV show, and this is actually about Scooby-Doo, a Great Dane who joins 4 California high school students, Fred, Daphne, Velma, and Shaggy, on many quests to solve strange mysteries. Each mystery is current and unusual and involves the group stopping someone from wreaking certain havoc on the world.
Whoa, I wonder what it looked like before she cleaned it. Welcome to our photo studio, sir. We've got a special today for monsters only. 3 prints for $1. Say cheese.
Shaggy then appears in 1972 in the new Scooby-Doo movies, and this is about the Mystery Inc. gang that investigates more supernatural sightings with various guest stars and characters.
Where? Like hell! Get me out of here, somebody! Oh boy, feet, do your duty. Get along, little doggy.
Then he appears in 1976 in the Scooby-Doo show, and this is about Fred, Shaggy, and Scooby that get jobs on a construction crew. They actually discover that the building site is haunted by a specter, and when the mystery machine runs out of gas in the empty town of Winter Haven, the gang tries to solve the mystery of the 10,000 volt ghost.
Faster! She's gaining on us! Quick, in this closet. She'll never find us.
Then he appears in 1977 in Scooby's LAFF-A-LYMPICS, and this is about a cartoon sports competition involving the entire Hanna-Barbera collection of characters. These characters would compete in various strange events, which each episode taking place in a different part of the world. Then you see him in 1979 in the Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo TV series, and this is about Scooby, Scrappy, and Shaggy that are kidnapped by an alien, and it is up to Fred, Velma, and Daphne to save them.
Right?
Zoinks!
Right?
Let me at it! I think I got him. Oh boy, Shaggy found the controls!
Not me! Zoinks! And I guess not him either!
Then who's flying the saucer? Oh, this is a puzzlement.
Then Shaggy appears in 1983 in the new Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo show, and this involves Shaggy, Scooby-Doo, and Scrappy-Doo solving supernatural mysteries under the cover of being reporters for a teen magazine.
Uh-oh!
Aha! I have you now. I'll take that. And you, El Scubo, prepare to defend.
Then you see Shaggy in 1985 in the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, and this is about Scooby and Shaggy that are tricked by 2 bumbling ghosts named Weird and Bogle into opening the Chest of Demons, a magical artifact which houses the 13 most terrifying and powerful ghosts and demons ever to walk the face of the earth.
It's Maldor the Malevolent, the master of black magic from the Dooms, because you let them out.
Then you see him in 1987 in Scooby-Doo Meets the Boo Brothers, and this is about Shaggy that inherits his uncle's mansion. He encounters ghostly tenants and asks the Boo Brothers for help.
Wow!
Let's boogie.
Oh, no! Lock's the next door! Like, I wonder what that means.
Search me.
Like this!
Then you see Shaggy in 1988 in the TV series A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, and this depicts younger versions of the title character and his human companions as they solve mysteries similar to the original TV series in 1969.
Like, okay, Scoob, what'll it be? Like, why don't you just relax in front of the TV and watch some nice cartoons, Scoob?
We interrupt this program to bring you this distressing news flash from Constance McSnack.
Then you see Shaggy again in 1988 in Scooby-Doo and the GHOUL School, and it's about Scooby that is somewhat more courageous nephew Scrappy-Doo and hygienically challenged human cohort Shaggy that take jobs as gym teachers at a highly suspicious girls' finishing school. Locked in the building in the dead of night, the dauntless trio find themselves in a classroom full of monsters and ghosts.
Elsa's my pride and joy.
Don't let me down.
Take care of.
Then he appears in 1994 in Scooby-Doo and Arabian Nights, and it's about Scooby and Shaggy that travel to Arabia to become royal food tasters but actually escape trouble by becoming great storytellers.
Okay. Yum.
We sure were a couple of lucky pups to...
Then he has an appearance in 1998 in Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, where Scooby and the gang reunite in search of mysteries and adventure when they chance upon a remote island inhabited by an undead pirate and his zombie crew.
Like, it's Mr. Beeman, the real estate agent.
Mr. Beeman?
Yeah, he was printing millions of counterfeit.
Then he appears in 1999 in Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghosts, and this is about the gang that meets a horror writer who invites them to go back to his hometown for the Autumn Fest, where they learn that one of the writer's ancestors was a witch who is apparently haunting the city.
You're the man, Scoob.
You're the man.
Then Shaggy appears in the year of 2000 in Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders, and this is about Scooby and the gang that get stranded in a remote desert town that is full of eccentric people, UFO sightings, and strange goings-on. Upon investigation, they uncover a sinister plan.
Like, what are you guys doing out here?
Like,
Now we're gonna give you...
Then Shaggy appears in Scooby-Doo and his Cyber Chase in 2001, and this is about Scooby and a gang that get trapped in cyberspace when a friend's virtual computer game is hit by a phantom virus in the most electrifying adventure ever.
What was that?
It's the Phantom.
Try to lead them up into the stands.
like I don't think we have the energy. But maybe we do.
Here.
What are we supposed to do with these?
Okay, so then Shaggy appears in 2002 in the Scooby-Doo movie, and this is about Shaggy, Scooby, Fred, Daphne, and Velma that are individually summoned to Spooky Island to investigate a series of paranormal incidents at the ultra-hip spring break hotspot.
Like there's a ghost right behind me, isn't there? You hear that?
Get the dog.
Then Shaggy appears in 2003 in the Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire. This is about a vampire that is snatching rock musicians from the concert held at Vampire Rock in Australia, and a cowardly hound and the rest of the Mystery Inc. head down under dressed as heavy metal band.
Oh boy, this should do for an appetizer.
Scooby-Doo!
Then Shaggy appears in 2004 in Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, and this is about Shaggy, Scooby, and the rest of the gang that actually stumble into another seemingly supernatural mystery, and in addition to facing off against various monsters that are tormenting their town, the gang must deal with television journalist Heather Jasper Howie, who is out to discredit their investigations. Then Shaggy appears once again in 2004 in Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster. This is about Mystery Inc. that visit to the Highlands that were supposed to be a holiday. Instead, the gang are drawn into the greatest Scottish mystery of all and need to find what lurks in Loch Ness.
Test of strength and skill.
When they invent a game that tests eating and sleeping, let us know.
Yeah.
Velma, like I think we found the monster.
Hang on, guys! Help is on the way!
You heard him, Scoob! Hang on! Whoa!
Then he appears in 2005 in Aloha Scooby-Doo. The Hawaiians aren't happy when Mystery Inc. arrives along with hordes of surfers for a big wave festival. When tiny demons attack the water sportsmen, it looks like the ancient prophecies have come true.
That's it! You've got it! Now just hang on!
No problem there.
Okay, so then Shaggy appears in 2006 in Shaggy and Scooby Get a Clue, and this TV show actually revolves around the fact that Shaggy Rogers' incredibly rich uncle Albert Shackelford disappears and names Shaggy as his soul for an inheritance.
Gives you a super speed, and this one fills you with hot air so you can fly like a super blimp.
Super?
So then Shaggy reappears in 2006 in Scooby-Doo Pirates Ahoy. This is about meddling kids of Mystery Inc. that board into a cruise, and they're promised a series of onboard riddles, but they're rapidly embroiled in a piratical adventure.
And a new set of eyeballs.
Bob!
Freddy! Hey!
Say! Slide!
Okay, so then Shaggy appears in 2007 in Chill Out Scooby-Doo, and this is about Shaggy and Scooby that are in for some frozen frights when they actually take the wrong flight and have to take out the abominable snowman.
Found the package too, no?
I didn't know that meant we were the package.
Then Shaggy appears in 2008 in Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King. This is about Shaggy, Scooby, and a gang that visit an eerie carnival on Halloween night, but all is not as it seems when the evil Goblin King makes an appearance.
Don't sweat it, gang. There's still one Halloween hoax we do believe in. Trick or treat!
Then Shaggy appears in 2009 in Scooby-Doo and the Samurai Sword, and this is actually Scooby and a gang that are in Tokyo, and actually an evil spirit who was vanquished in ancient Japan but has mysteriously resurrected. So in order to defeat the samurai, the gang will have to beat him in a treasure hunt across Asia. Then Shaggy appears in 2009 in Scooby-Doo The Mystery Begins. This is about young Shaggy and his newly adopted dog, Scooby-Doo, that joined forces with Fred, Daphne, and Velma to investigate a haunting at their school.
Wow! Brain freeze without the slushing. Cool.
Unusual climactic anomaly. There must.
Then he appears in 2010 in Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated TV series. This is about Scooby-Doo and a gang that attempt to solve creepy mysteries in the town of Crystal Cove, a place with a history of eerie supernatural events.
We need to talk.
Velma, like, I would love to, but, like, I can't hear anything over the sound of my own stomach. It's going, like, maybe give me a triple with cheese and
Then
chili.
he appears in 2010 in Scooby-Doo and the Curse of Lake Monster. This is about Scooby and the gang that have got a job for the summer working at Daphne's uncle's country club in Erie Point. Everything is going to plan until the legendary lake monster shows his face.
Oh, it looks like we got the whole place to ourselves.
Yes. Unfortunately, that only emphasizes.
Okay, so then Shaggy appears in 2011 in Scooby-Doo and the Legend of PHANTOSAUR. So this is about Scooby-Doo and a gang that encounters the horrible PHANTOSAUR. They investigate to find out what's really behind his prehistoric haunting.
I have to avoid all things that are scary because of my cute trophy disorder thingy. Joe.
Then in 2012, he appears in Scooby-Doo Music of the Vampire, and this is about Daphne that becomes the star of a vampire film, and the production is thrown into chaos by a real vampire, forcing the Scooby-Doo team to investigate who's behind the monstrous mayhem. He then also appears in 2012 in Big Top Scooby-Doo, where Scooby-Doo and the gang visit Atlantic City for a relaxing vacation, only to find a Big Top circus tent haunted by werewolves, and it's up to Daphne the Clown, Fred, the trapeze artist, and Scooby the Amazing Trick Dog to save the circus.
Hey, it's a baboon.
Then Shaggy appears in Scooby-Doo Mask of the Blue Falcon, where Mr. Hyde releases monster bats, howling hounds, and sinister slimes at a convention. The Mystery Inc. team follows the clues and set traps to stop the monsters before they smother the event in ghoulish green goo.
Good thinking, Scoob.
Okay, and then Shaggy appears in Scooby-Doo The Adventures, The Mystery Map in 2013, where Scooby-Doo and the gang find a treasure map in a pizza and set out to find the treasure of Gnarlybeard the Pirate, encountering Gnarlybeard the Phantom Pirate, a spooky lighthouse keeper, and a suspicious archaeologist along the way.
Tailor flavors nicely, huh, Scoob?
Then Shaggy appears in Scooby-Doo Stage Fright in 2013, where Fred and Daphne compete on a hit TV show, broadcast from an opera house with a dark history. After they reach the finals, a vengeful phantom curses the show, and a Mystery Inc. team investigates as the show goes on. Then he appears in 2014 in Scooby-Doo WRESTLEMANIA Mystery, where Shaggy and Scooby win tickets to WrestleMania and the entire gang heads to WWE City to attend. And when a ghost bear appears and threatens to ruin the show, the team works with WWE superstars to solve the mystery. Then he once again appears in 2014 in Scooby-Doo FRANKENCREPPY. And this is about Velma that discovers that she's inherited her great-great-uncle's cursed castle in Transylvania, and the team decide to go there on a spooky adventure.
Hiding? Yes, but there's something else that we're, like, really good at. Eating? Yes, you know it.
Then he appears in 2015 in Scooby-Doo The Moon Monster Madness, and this is about Scooby-Doo and the gang that win 5 seats on a billionaire's brand new space shuttle and have to unravel a mystery when aliens attack their ship.
Eugenius Botango, the U-boat.
Like the best football player alive.
Okay, everyone needs to calm down.
Oh, Pat!
Then in 2016, he appears in Lego Scooby-Doo Haunted Hollywood, where the gang tries to rescue an old movie studio that is threatened by developers and haunted by movie monsters.
You done here, Sheriff?
Hey, what's the hurry, Shaggy? I'm so hungry.
Dude, we were just live bait. You know that works up our appetites.
How about some Scooby snacks to tide you over?
Then in 2017, he appears in Scooby-Doo's Shaggy's Showdown, and it's about Scooby and the gang that meet Shaggy's ghostly, long-lost relative while visiting a haunted town.
It's true. Even howdy, partner. Why, can you tell me where I can find... Ah! He's back! Pardon me, ma'am.
Then in 2018, it is Scooby-Doo and Batman and the Bold, where Batman teams up with the Scooby-Doo gang when villains from both of the worlds unite to wreak havoc on the city.
Shag, Scoob.
Like the villains are all out.
We know. They're right.
Then Shaggy appears in 2019 in Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, where a group of teenage friends and their Great Dane Scooby-Doo travel in a bright green van solving strange and hilarious mysteries while returning from or going to a regular teenage function. So last but not least, Shaggy appears in 2020 in the new Scoob movie, and it's about Scooby and a gang that race to stop his global dog apocalypse. The gang discovers that Scooby has a secret legacy and an epic destiny greater than anyone could have imagined.
Buddy, back when we were kids, you saved me. Now it's